Offensive turnover foul on the Sumov called against Johns Hopkins number 19, Dado Suarez. False start. Mount St. Mary's takes the first possession. For those watching the live stream, Mount St. Mary's with the ball in the dark caps, moving right to left on your screen. Johns Hopkins University Blue Jays in the white caps, moving left to right. Pass intended for center Chris Valavanis, the freshman from Athens, Greece. It was too long. The Blue Jays will go to their first attack. On the right wing, Ian Rayleigh. Into the center, looking to turn. Gets his hand on the ball, lobs and scores! Johns Hopkins' goal is first of the game, scored by number 3, Emerson Sullivan. Time of the goal, 7:15. Score, Johns Hopkins 1, Mount St. Mary's 0. So the Blue Jays got on the board first. The Mountaineers controlling the ball. Kiai Hoan. Now it's into the center. The step away, shot goes short and wide. That from Chris Valavanis. Johns Hopkins with the ball. The starters for the Blue Jays in goal number 1, Kyle Pearson. Number 3, Emerson Sullivan. Number 7, Cameron Burns. And number 9, Kami Aslami. Number 11, Ian Rayleigh. Number 18, Daniel Palfi. And number 19, Dado Suarez. We'll get to the Mount St. Mary's starters shortly. They're on the attack, and a great passing play. Tic-tac-toe on the redirect in the center. Mount St. Mary's goal is first of the game, scored by number 5, Chris Valavanis. Time of the goal, 6:14. The score is now tied at 1. Along with Valavanis, the starters for Mount St. Mary's in goal, number 1A, Sharif Hosni. Number 6, Michael Lemishko. Number 7, Kiai Hoan. Number 8, Eli Thalos. Number 10, Tomaso Baldinetti. And number 14, Alexandros Dalasis. Johns Hopkins' goal is first of the game, scored by number 19, Dado Suarez. Time of the goal, 5:52. The score, the Blue Jays 2, the Mountaineers 1. Johns Hopkins exclusion for holding on the drive on the perimeter. The exclusion on number 18, Daniel Palfi. Mount St. Mary's on the power play, keeping the power play after the save out of play. The shot blocked at the defense. On the change of possession, Johns Hopkins will return to full strength. A penalty shot has been called in the center against number 5, Chris Valavanis. His first of the game, grabbing the arm of a player with position to the goal. Johns Hopkins penalty shot goal is second of the game, scored by number 3, Emerson Sullivan. Time of the goal, 5:09. The score, Johns Hopkins 3, Mount St. Mary's 1. So the graduate student from San Anselmo, California, Emerson Sullivan, has a pair of goals to lead the Blue Jays to maybe somewhat of a surprising 3-1 lead, and playing hard on defense was Kami Islami with the steal. All alone on the right side, the shot, scores on the short side. Johns Hopkins counterattack goal is first of the game, scored by number 18, Daniel Palfi. Time of the goal, 4:44. The score, Johns Hopkins 4, Mount St. Mary's 1. Johns Hopkins' exclusion for going over the top of the center forward to play the ball is first of the game, called against number 7, Cameron Burns. Time of the exclusion, 4:26. Mount St. Mary's on the power play. 4-2 formation. Into the post and scoring. Almost a carbon copy of the opening goal for the Mountaineers, this time on the power play. Mount St. Mary's power play goal is first of the game, scored by number 13, Zach Fisher. Time of the goal, 4:08. The score, Johns Hopkins 4, Mount St. Mary's 2. Kiai Horan steps in front of the pass, makes the steal for Mount St. Mary's. Up top, it's Casper Chiplik now in the game. Marked closely by Sullivan. Into the center, pass too high. Defensive play made by Chris Lowe now in the game for Johns Hopkins, a sophomore from Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. That'll be Palfi working alongside Suarez. And the turn and shot from Sullivan is saved and controlled by goalie Sharif Hosni. Tommaso Baldinetti in the game now. The left-hander has the ball. Marked closely by Sullivan. The shot saved. The rebound controlled by Chris Lowe. Kyle Pearson with the outlet on the right side for Daniel Palfi. The shot from Chris Lowe is out of bounds. On the shot that goes wide and out of play, Mount St. Mary's takes over. Alexandros Belasis, his pass to the center is way too long for Zach Fisher. Gobbled up by Kyle Pearson. On the wing, it's Palfi into the center quickly. Ball under is called in the center against Emerson Sullivan. A trio of crashing Mountaineers forced that ball under. Trying to turn the corner on his own was Alexandros Belasis, the freshman from Athens, Greece. It gets stolen all alone on the right side. Is Sullivan looking for another, and he's got it. Johns Hopkins counterattack goal is third of the game, scored by number 3, Emerson Sullivan. Time of the goal, 1:32. The score now, Johns Hopkins 5, Mount St. Mary's 2. Offensive foul pushing off in the center, called against number 5, Chris Valavanis of Mount St. Mary's. Johns Hopkins takes over. Head coach Alyssa Diacono exhorting her troops to press hard. Nice turn in the center, but losing the handle, and then the backhand from Cameron Burns is saved by Sharif Hosni, excuse me. Belasis, cross pool, then into the center. The turn and shot, wide left. That coming from Chris Valavanis. To the counterattack, 40 seconds remain in the opening quarter. Oh, the pass from Kyle Pearson is intercepted. Unforced error there. And now Mount St. Mary's has numbers. Pass in, turn, oh, and the exclusion called against number 5, Seth Burke. Reaching over top of the player to play the ball. Power play, Mount St. Mary's. All alone on the left wing and shooting short side low and getting stuffed by goalie Kyle Pearson was Eli Thalos. 2 seconds, the backhand, oh, over the bar and out of play. Time for one last shot. And it's saved by Kyle Pearson. The score at the end of one quarter of play, the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays and Whitecaps 5, the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers and Darkcaps 2. We'd like to welcome everyone to the Francis B. Messmore Aquatic Center, the site for the 2022 CWPA Mid-Atlantic Men's Varsity Water Polo Championship. We need everyone to be on their best behavior. Please support the participants and officials in a positive manner. Anyone failing to do so may be removed from the pool. Also remember that alcohol and tobacco products within the competition site are strictly prohibited. The officials for the game, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Michael Goldenberg, and from right here in the Bronx, Amado Mejia, and the official supervisor from Northport, Alabama is Ed Reed. Well, a somewhat surprising result at the end of the first quarter of play sees the 10th seeded Johns Hopkins Blue Jays up by 3 over the 7th seeds from Mount St. Mary's, but lots of time remaining. We'll be back with second quarter action. In the dark cap, number 6, Michael Amishko, and he wins the swim-off against number 15, Gavin Brook. Mount St. Mary's to the first attack of the second quarter. Pair of lefties operating on the right side for the Mountaineers. Oh, and getting in behind the defense right in front of the net and earning a penalty shot was number 8, Eli Thalos, the graduate student from Salt Lake City, Utah. A penalty shot has been called against number 15, Gavin Brook of Johns Hopkins, pulling back a player with clear access to the goal and controlling the ball. How you doing, Ken? Mount St. Mary's penalty shot goal is first of the game, scored by number 10, Tommaso Baldinetti. Time of the goal, 7:32. The score now, Johns Hopkins 5, Mount St. Mary's 3. Blue Jays on the attack. It's on the left wing. The shot deflected out of play. Nice defensive block by Kiai Horan. And now it's Baldinetti. The penalty shot scorer has a crossbow pass, lays it in. A penalty shot has been called against Johns Hopkins number 19, Dado Soares. Grabbing the arm of a player inside 5 meters and free access to the goal with the ball. His first of the game. Baldinetti ready for his second penalty shot. And he puts it in the same spot. Mount St. Mary's penalty shot goal, his second penalty shot goal of the game, scored by number 10, Tommaso Baldinetti. Time of the goal, 7:03. The score now, Johns Hopkins 5, Mount St. Mary's 4. Chris Lowe passing the ball off to the left, has to be retrieved. Ian Rayleigh up top again to Lowe. Now it's on the right side to Palfi. Lowe curling around from the left, getting the ball but dropping it and having to throw it away. Delay of game called against number 5, Seth Burke of Johns Hopkins, throwing the ball away. Turnover to Mount St. Mary's. Mountaineers to the attack. Offensive foul in the center, hooking the arm of the defender, called against number 5, Chris Valavanis of Mount St. Mary's. Johns Hopkins takes over. Coming way out of the net to help steal the ball was Sharif Hosni, and he gets the ball quickly up the wing to Baldinetti. Now it's Horan up top. Gets it back. Johns Hopkins exclusion, pulling back the player in the center. His second of the game called against number 5, Seth Burke, on the shot deflected out of play by the defense. Johns Hopkins returns to full strength. Mount St. Mary's exclusion for swimming over top of the center forward to gain position, called against number 8, Eli Thalos, his first. Time of the exclusion, 5:28. Johns Hopkins will go to the power play after a full team timeout. So the Blue Jays, who have watched the Mountaineers score 2 unanswered goals, have a chance to get one of their own and extend their lead to 2. We'll go to the power play. Kyle Pearson with the ball in play for Johns Hopkins on the power play after the team timeout. 4-2 formation for the Blue Jays. On the right wing, it's Palfi trading passes with Suarez. Now 3-3. And a rocket in the top left corner. Johns Hopkins power play goal is first of the game, scored by number 7, Cameron Burns. Time of the goal, 5:11. The score, Johns Hopkins 6, Mount St. Mary's 4. So the junior from Irvine, California, Cameron Burns, gets the lead back up to 2 and then makes the defensive steal on the pass intended for Chris Valavanis. Suarez. On the wing, it's Quint Steffi now in the game. His pass intended for the center is too long. And now it'll be the Mountaineers to the attack. Oh, and getting inside was Chris Valavanis, but his shot is saved and controlled by Kyle Pearson, his 5th save of the game. And he gets the outlet to Kami Aslami. The senior from Mission Viejo, California, has room. Now it's Burns. 10 seconds in the shot clock, looking for a return pass, doesn't get it. Now he gets it, and his backhand pull is saved and controlled by Hosny. Johns Hopkins exclusion for pulling back on the counterattack. His 2nd of the game called against number 18, Daniel Palfi. Time of the exclusion, 3:58. Mount St. Mary's will go to the power play after its full team timeout. Sharif Hosny sends Mount St. Mary's to the power play after the team timeout. Sliding off the right post is Valavanis. And it's on the left wing, the cross-cage shot from Alexandros Belasis. The freshman from Athens, Greece, is stopped. Kyle Pearson with the outlet. Johns Hopkins back to full strength after the turnover. And in the short side, squeezing it in between the goalpost and goalie's Sharif Hosny's 2 hands. Was Kami Aslami. Johns Hopkins' goal is first of the game, scored by number 9, Kami Aslami. Time of the goal, 3:17. The score, Johns Hopkins 7, Mount St. Mary's 4. So the Mountaineers, ball into the center, hard turn. Johns Hopkins exclusion, pulling back on the turn in the center. His 2nd of the game called against number 7, Cameron Burns. Time of the exclusion, 2:58. Power play, Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's power play goal is first of the game, scored by number 6, Michael Lemishko. Time of the goal, 2:45. The score, Johns Hopkins 7, Mount St. Mary's 5. Chris Lowe takes the Blue Jays up the pool with the pass on the wing to Suarez. Offensive turnover foul called against number 11, Ian Rayleigh, for pushing off to gain position using a straight arm. So the Mountaineers on the attack. Lemishko working with Horan. Chance to shoot for Baldinetti. He does. Kyle Pearson with his 7th save of the game controls his own rebound. The outlet to Ian Rayleigh, the sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland, sends it to Suarez on the other wing. Offensive turnover foul, straight arming to turn, called against number 19, Dado Suarez of Johns Hopkins. So the Mountaineers take over. Less than 2 minutes remain in the first half. Up top, Balesi scores! Mount St. Mary's outside shot goal is first of the game, scored by number 14, Alexandros Balasis. Time of the goal, 1:33. The score now, Johns Hopkins 7, Mount St. Mary's 6. Suarez into the post and scoring! Johns Hopkins goal is first of the game, scored by number 11, Ian Rayleigh. Time of the goal, 1:14. The score, the Blue Jays 8, Mountaineers 6. Michael Lemishko with the ball, the sophomore from Wayne, Pennsylvania. Passes it off. And stepping back and shooting was Balasis. But Kyle Pearson has been there. Controls his own rebound again. Mount St. Mary's exclusion for holding on the counterattack. His first of the game called against number 14, Alexandros Balasis. Time of the exclusion, 1 minute. Johns Hopkins on the power play. 4-2 formation for the Blue Jays. It's on the wing to Suarez. Goes cross pool. And the shot is blocked out. Nice defensive play made by Tommaso Baldinetti. On the turnover, Mount St. Mary's back to full strength. 30 seconds remains in the opening half. Johns Hopkins exclusion for holding. The exclusion was on number 19, Dado Suarez, his second. And the power play goal is second of the game, scored by number 6, Michael Lemishko. The shot is off the bar, tipped by goalie Sharif Hosni. No goal as the horn went before the ball was released on the shot. And the score at the end of the first half of play, the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays and Whitecaps 8. The Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers and Darkcaps 7. Well, the Blue Jays got off to a great start in the first quarter. The Mountaineers have responded in the second quarter to close the gap to within 1. It's 8-7 Blue Jays heading into the second half as the team's trade ends. We'll be back with second half action. Number 11 in the white cap, Ian Rayleigh, winning the swim-off for Johns Hopkins against number 6, Michael Lemishko of Mount St. Mary's. For those watching the live stream, the Blue Jays in the white caps controlling the ball, moving right to left on your screen. Mount St. Mary's in the dark caps, moving left to right, trailing 8-7. Johns Hopkins goal is second of the game, scored on number 7, Cameron Burns. Time of the goal, 7:38. The score, Johns Hopkins 9, Mount St. Mary's 7. Johns Hopkins exclusion for two-hand holding on the turn, called against number 3, Emerson Sullivan, his first. Mount St. Mary's on the power play. So the Mountaineers give up an early goal, have a chance to respond. And good passing from the Mountaineers, going from Baldinetti, cross-pool to Belasis. Mount St. Mary's power play goal is second of the game, scored by number 14, Alexandros Belasis. Time of the goal, 7:04. The score now, Johns Hopkins 9, Mount St. Mary's 8. So it's Rayleigh working with Sullivan up top now. Gets it into the center. A hard turn and backhand is saved and controlled for his 5th save by Sharif Hosni, and the long outlet going to Tommaso Baldinetti. He's fouled. Offensive turnover foul called in the center against number 14, Alexandros Belasis. Two-hand hold facing the defender on the pass. And the cross-pool pass, fumbles it a bit, but still scores! Johns Hopkins' goal is second of the game, scored by number 9, Kami Islami. Time of the goal, 6:23. The score, Johns Hopkins 10, Mount St. Mary's 8. So every time it looks like the Mountaineers are going to get back right even, the Blue Jays respond, and the Mountaineers have just done it again to pull within 1. Mount St. Mary's goal is second of the game, scored by number 13, Zach Fisher. Time of the goal, 6:10. The score, the Blue Jays 10, the Mountaineers 9. Ball under is called against Kami Islami, the defensive play made by Belasis. And a great save on the breakaway by Kyle Pearson. With Kyle Pearson's save out of play, corner throw awarded to Mount St. Mary's. The Blue Jays pressing the inbound pass heavily. Playing for the steal was Emerson Sullivan, but he's called on the ordinary foul. Ball under is called in the center against number 13, Zach Fisher of Mount St. Mary's. Mountaineers take over. Pearson with a short outlet mid-pool to Islami. Goes to the right wing, onto the post. But and the rebound goes right in the center. Ordinary foul called as Cameron Burns got the rebound. The shot coming from Quinn Steffi, the freshman from Capistrano Beach, California, who has the ball. Oh, and bar down, but not in. Powerful shot from the right wing by the left-handed Dado Suarez. And now it's Belasis. And a nice individual effort there. Mount St. Mary's goal is second of the game, scored by, is third of the game, scored by number 10, Tommaso Baldinetti. Time of the goal, 4:49. The score is now tied at 10. finally, the Mountaineers are able to pull even with a quarter and a half remaining. Now it's up to the Blue Jays to respond. And vacating the left wing was Quinn Steffi, and Kami Islami dumped the ball there. The Mountaineers take over. Now it's Baldinetti again trying to turn. Offensive turnover foul called against number 10, Tommaso Baldinetti, for hooking the player to turn. Another offensive turnover foul, this time called against Johns Hopkins for ducking underneath for position on the counterattack. A yellow card has been issued to head coach Max Schlegel of Johns Hopkins. So the Mountaineers with a chance to take their first lead. Offensive turnover foul called, leaning in with the head against number 10, Tommaso Baldinetti. Johns Hopkins takes over. When in need, you go to the man who can convert from the center forward position. Johns Hopkins goal, his fourth goal of the game, scored by number 3, Emerson Sullivan. Time of the goal, 3:39. The score, the Blue Jays 11, the Mountaineers 10. The Mountaineers find themselves trailing yet again. On the turn, Kiai Hoan. Into the center it goes. Ball under called in the center against number 8, Eli Thalos of Mount St. Mary's. And the Blue Jays looking to try to extend it back up to a 2-goal lead. Islami on the wing. The quick shot off the post, retrieving his own rebound is Soares. New shot clock for the Mountaineers. Cross pool, and dropping the ball as he attempted to shoot was Kami Islami. So it'll be the Mountaineers back to the attack, trying to tie things up. Baldinetti gets jumped on a nice defensive play by Ian Rayleigh. Rayleigh has the ball on the left wing. Looking to the right wing now. Soares, cross pool, Rayleigh drops the ball. Tries to turn and shoot, it's blocked. Retrieved by Mihalopoulos, Jason Mihalopoulos, a freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada. Dado Soares thought the shot clock was expiring and threw the ball away. Offensive turnover foul called in the center. Two-hand grab facing the defender called against number 5, Chris Valavanis of Mount St. Mary's. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Blue Jays up by 1. Islami trading passes with Mihalopoulos. Now it's Cameron Burns into the center. Nice shovel pass, but the crashing defense of Nicholas Whitfield, the sophomore from Nassau, Bahamas, turns it over. And now a chance on the other side for the Mountaineers, turning to his backhand on a nice play, and the shot scores! Mount St. Mary's counterattack goal, his fourth of the game, scored by number 10, Tommaso Baldinetti. Time of the goal, 1:25. The score is now tied at 11. Suarez, cross pool, Rayleigh. Goes up top for Burke. The trio moving the ball back and forth. Almost blindsided. And a offensive turnover foul, offside, called against number 11, Ian Rayleigh of Johns Hopkins, being inside 2 meters ahead of the pass. Less than a minute to play in the third quarter. Johns Hopkins exclusion for holding on the counterattack, called against number 19, Dado Suarez. That is his third. He's excluded from the remainder of the game. Power play, Mount St. Mary's. On the change of possession, Johns Hopkins back to full strength. Kyle Pearson with his 10th save of the game. In from the penalty area, Quinn Steffi. 20 seconds remain. And Steffi picks the long cross cage low corner. Johns Hopkins outside shot goal is first of the game, scored by number 4, Quinn Steffi. Time of the goal, 15 seconds. The score, the Blue Jays 12, the Mountaineers 11. So a dozen seconds for the Mountaineers to try to tie things up. Kyle Pearson with the save. Mount St. Mary's exclusion for excessive use of force on the foul. His first of the game, called against number 10, Tommaso Baldinetti. Time of the exclusion, 3 seconds. Johns Hopkins with the opportunity for a power play to begin the fourth quarter if they win the swim-off. If Mount St. Mary's wins the swim-off, it'll be a change of possession, and the Mountaineers will go back to full strength. The score at the end of 3 quarters of play, the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays and Whitecaps 12, the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers and Darkcaps 11. Well, it should be a barn burner in the fourth quarter. It's a 1-goal game, and teams going back and forth, back and forth. The Blue Jays with a potential power play if they can win the swim-off. We'll be back with the fourth quarter. Number 6 in the dark cap, Michael Lemishko for Mount St. Mary's, swimming off against number 11, Ian Rayleigh in the white cap for Johns Hopkins, and it's Lemishko with the win for the Mountaineers. On the change of possession, Mount St. Mary's back to full strength. The attempted backhand redirect from Valavanis falls short. Kyle Pearson with the ball for the Blue Jays. Outlets on the right side to Quinn Steffi. Down the wing. Oh, all alone in front is Baldinetti. Mount St. Mary's goal is 5th of the game, scored by Tommaso Baldinetti. Time of the goal, 7:12. The game is now tied at 12. Big cross up there by the Johns Hopkins defense, and now they turn the ball over. Max Schlegel, head coach, is not happy about that, and now getting it back on the attempted turn, Quinn Steffi. Mount St. Mary's exclusion for pulling back in the center. His first of the game called against number 6, Michael Lemishko. Johns Hopkins power play goal, his 5th goal of the game, scored by number 3, Emerson Sullivan. Time of the goal, 6:40. The score is now Johns Hopkins 13, Mount St. Mary's 12. Slight delay was while Johns Hopkins extra player exited the pool. Lemishko working with Horan. Baldinetti. Nice pass into the center. Oh, and a rocket shot blind with his head underwater came from Chris Valavanis, but it went wide right. Blue Jays with the ball. Kyle Pearson looking for an outlet. Doesn't have one. Now he does. Sullivan. Offensive turnover foul, holding. Called against number 3, Emerson Sullivan. 2-on-1 for the Mountaineers. A chance to tie. And they do. Mount St. Mary's counterattack goal is 3rd of the game, scored by number 14, Alexandros Belasis. Time of the goal, 5:55. The score is now tied at 13. On the play, Johns Hopkins goalie, number 1, Kyle Pearson, has been given a game exclusion for kicking.
6 is where he won it. Number 6 is not where he won.
Program change, now in goal and wearing number 1A for Johns Hopkins is Cheyenne Sadiq. He was listed as number 6. So number 6, Cheyenne Sadiq, now wearing number 1A in goal for Johns Hopkins. And on the steal, another counterattack. Again, it's Belasis. This time he goes cross pool. And the backhand is in off the far post. And the first lead of the game for the Mountaineers comes on an incredible... Oh, shit! Johns Hopkins has taken a full team timeout after the goal that puts Mount St. Mary's ahead 14-13. Cheyenne Sadiq will put the ball in play for the Blue Jays after the timeout. Chris Lowe up top. Now it's Burns, and he gets blindsided, and the ball stolen away by Baldinetti. Johns Hopkins exclusion for pulling back on the counterattack. Called against number 7, Cameron Burns. That is his third exclusion. He's excluded from the remainder of the game. Time of the exclusion, 4:57. Mount St. Mary's will go to the power play after its full team timeout. Three formation. Now back to 4-2. And who else? Mount St. Mary's power play goal is 7th goal of the game, scored by number 10, Tommaso Baldinetti. Time of the goal, 4:41. The score now, the Mountaineers 15, the Blue Jays 13. So the Mountaineers have come all the way back from down as many as 3. Mount St. Mary's exclusion for holding on the perimeter is first of the game, called against number 3, Nicholas Whitfield. The save by Sharif Hosni. Corner throw for Johns Hopkins. They remain on the power play. 4-2. Now 3-3. Lowe picks the top corner. Johns Hopkins power play goal is first of the game, scored by number 21, Chris Lowe. Time of the goal, 4:05. The score, Mount St. Mary's 15, Johns Hopkins 14. So the Blue Jays are not just going to go away after giving up their leads. Offensive foul, hooking the center defenseman in the center, called against number 5, Chris Valavanis of Mount St. Mary's. Johns Hopkins takes over. This time Chris Lowe is stopped by Hosni. Now to the counterattack goes Malasis. The speedy winger looks to lob and scores. Mount St. Mary's counterattack goal is second counterattack goal and 4th of the game, scored by number 14, Alexandros Malasis. Time of the goal, 3:29. The score, Mount St. Mary's 16, Johns Hopkins 14. Mount St. Mary's exclusion for 2 hands down, holding in the center. His second of the game called against number 6, Michael Lemishko. Johns Hopkins power play goal. His second power play goal and 6th of the game scored by number 3, Emerson Sullivan. Time of the goal, 3:14. The score, Mountaineers 16, Blue Jays 15. Offensive turnover foul, ball under, called against Mount St. Mary's. What a turn of events. 2 goals in 25 seconds, and we're back tied. Johns Hopkins counterattack goal is first of the game, scored by number 14, Jason Mihalopoulos. Time of the goal, 2:48. The game is now tied at 16. And the turnaround, Johns Hopkins exclusion for pulling back on the turn on the wing, called against number 14, Jason Mihalopoulos. Power play, Mount St. Mary's. And not wasting any time, the Mountaineers retake the lead. Mount St. Mary's power play goal is 5th of the game, scored by number 14, Alexandros Belasis. Time of the goal, 2:27. The score, Mountaineers 17, Blue Jays 16. Just over 2 minutes remain now. Aslami in the middle gives the ball away on a nice play by Baldinetti. He's been incredible at both ends of the pool. Lemishko, Baldinetti, this time his shot to the far side is saved by Sadiq. On the change of possession, Johns Hopkins has called a full team timeout. So the Blue Jays on the attack after the timeout. Seth Burke on the left wing. Up top, it's Rayleigh. Lets it fly and scores! What a huge goal for the Blue Jays. Johns Hopkins outside shot goal is second of the game, scored by number 11, Ian Rayleigh. Time of the goal, 1:29. The score is now tied at 17. Mount St. Mary's has taken a full team timeout. Each team has one 30-second timeout remaining. After the team timeout, Sharif Hosni will put the Mountaineers on the attack. Minute and a half remains. Tie game. Offensive turnover foul, swimming over top of the defender, called against number 8, Eli Phalos. And now on the 2-on-1, on the left wing, there's the lob, and it's in! Johns Hopkins counterattack goal is third of the game, scored by number 11, Ian Rayleigh. Time of the goal, 1:12. The score, Johns Hopkins 18, Mount St. Mary's 17. Well, the Mountaineers have their work cut out for them. They're going to need to score. They may have one more attack after this one. Lemishko up top, goes to Horan into the center. He's got the turn. Johns Hopkins exclusion for two hands down holding on the turn. His first of the game, called against number 21, Chris Lowe. Mount St. Mary's on the power play. Well, the Mountaineers are going to need to convert on this or else steal the ball back. And the shot is over the bar and out of play by Tommaso Baldinetti. The 7-goal scorer misses the mark. 30-second timeout taken by Johns Hopkins. Cheyenne Sadiq will put the ball in play. And now it's a question of, can the Mountaineers set up a defense that will take the ball back? They've opted to have one player go between, and that's not going to work. 10 seconds remain. Now a second one. It's open on the far